I want to welcome everyone today to our press conference, especially those watching on our Facebook Live audience. I want to start this press conference by thanking everyone for being here, especially some of our VIPs, our dignitaries. I want to thank the mayor of the city of Natchitoches, Mr. Ronnie Williams, for being here. The DA was unable to make it, but he sent his regrets and he's in full support. He told me I could say that. Also, on behalf of the sheriff, we have Chief Deputy Darrell Winder. Appreciate you being here. We have several board members, Mr. Russ Danzy, Mrs. Leela Harvey, Pastor Stephen Harris. We also have Miss Dorothy McGaskey. I think that's it for board members. Several other board members also regret not being here, but thank you for their support. We have a large portion of the city council, Mr. Dale Nelson, Miss Rosemary Washington, Mr. Eddie Harrington. Am I missing anyone else? Oh, Miss Betty Sawyer. Last but not least. And the chamber representation, Ms. Laura Lyles and her staff. And also we have several principals here who they themselves have been a large impetus for this project because they have been telling us the need in their school. So I mention all those folks, number one, because we want to respect them for being here, but we also want to show that this is such a unified effort of the community. Every aspect of the community is coming behind this because if we can fix this, if we can improve this, so many other things get easier for us. So we always start off at NPSB centering around two fundamental guiding principles. Number one, our highest priority is student learning. And number two, our greatest responsibility is student safety. These two guiding principles are the reason we're here today. Our district has shown tremendous academic growth over the past 3 years, unequaled in the state even. But today we aren't here to talk about academics. We're here to discuss what we have found to be a significant issue in need of addressing: student attendance and behavioral support, and what we as a school district are going to do about those two issues. Every day, 10% of our students are not at school. That means that there are 500 students not learning, not being fed, and possibly walking the community unsupervised. That trend stops today. We are not attacking those students and families who are sick or have some sort of excuse to not be at school. We're addressing those who are not prioritizing coming to school at all. Since COVID, large segments of our population and community believe that school is optional. Let me be clear, COVID is in the past, and school is not optional. When students aren't at school, they cannot learn, and there's also a possibility of them causing trouble in the community while unsupervised, something I believe we are all acutely aware of in the city of Natchitoches. In a combined effort with the entire community, we are declaring war on student truancy and chronic absenteeism. Today, I will be sending out a letter to all parents via the media and our social media networks about what we plan to do in our district to attack this incessant problem. I, as superintendent, have a sacred responsibility to provide the students of Natchitoches Parish with a robust education. And I want to be clear that I will not let any impediment get in the way of that process. Our children and their futures are far too precious not to demand that they are consistently allowed to learn by being present in our schools. We simply cannot tolerate the example of the first grader who missed 120 days of school last year. This is not a child problem, this is an adult problem. Not only are we partnering with local law enforcement and the district attorney, we have also created our own internal team to address these issues. I would now like to introduce our new student services team, and because of the camera, I can't bring them all up here. But our student services team was created through a reorganization of current district personnel and resources with no additional cost to the district. That team is led by Director of Student Services, Ms. Felicia Pinckney, who will come up here later. Supporting her is our Child Welfare and Attendance Officer, Ms. Anita Dubois, Student Wellness Supervisor, Jennifer Ingram, Social Worker, Ms. Jasmine Dilworth, Truancy Officer, Mr. Joey Miller, Secretary Raina Farrell, and our wonderful consultant, Dr. Daryl Hampton. I want to specifically mention Mr. Joey Miller. He's going to be our truancy officer. He is going to be out and about in this community, visiting families, contacting parents, getting with students, and making sure that our students are in school. This team is meant to address truancy and behavior, but more specifically, our goal is to be proactive and not reactive. We are not meant to respond to fires. We are meant to prevent them. We want to identify at-risk students and then provide them and their families with supports, structures, and resources available in the district and the community so they are not a truancy or behavior issue. The mission of this department is to not let any child slip through the cracks. Once a student is identified as at risk for behavioral or attendance issues, the team will work to contact parents, assess their needs, and proactively support them in order to reduce behavioral issues and make sure that student attends school. If all of these exhaustive efforts fail, then we will involve our community partners such as the district attorney and law enforcement to address things in a manner which we as a school district are incapable. I also want to address our teachers. These efforts were born out of your voiced concerns. Every teacher I know wants to improve their students' lives. Teachers want to teach, but without proactive discipline, resources specifically supported by the district, and without district truancy supports to make sure students are in class consistently, they are fighting an uphill battle. These initiatives are just as much about supporting our teachers as they are about supporting these students and these families. It is my firm belief that the efforts today will make a teacher's day-to-day much easier and make them much more effective. Finally, efforts like these are very large and complex. We've been working on this, it seems like, for over a year. And that is why I am so extremely thankful for all the people in this room who have pledged their partnership, offered ideas, provided resources, advice, and overall support. I would like to give them a chance now to make some comments. First off, I am speaking on behalf of District Attorney Mr. Billy Joe Harrington, who told me to say that he is completely in favor of this initiative, and we will actually be sending out some forms from the District Attorney. We cannot say enough how much we appreciate him and his office. Also, the sheriff is out of state right now getting training because they want to improve and always be better. So Chief Deputy Daryl Winder is here, but we're not going to put him on the spot. We'll leave that to the sheriff one day. But I would love to bring up now our mayor, Mr. Ronnie Williams, to share some comments with you as well. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thanks, Dr. Eloy and his team. He mentioned those who are part of this effort for stepping up to the plate in a huge way concerning truancy. With consistency and follow through, our community, I believe, will see very positive results for many years to come because of this effort. Our Vice President wrote in her book, Smart on Crime, fighting truancy might very well be the single most important thing we can do to impact the future of crime in this country, close quote. I'm a firm believer that children and actors deserve the absolute best education possible. In order to receive that education, they certainly need to be present in the classroom. So thank you all again for this effort, and we're here to support from the city standpoint in any way we can. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. We're so blessed to live in an area where you can pick up the phone and call the sheriff, the mayor, the DA, the chamber president, whoever, and we can say, hey, we have a crazy idea, an initiative, and they just say, let's run with it. The next person I'd like to bring up is Miss Felicia Pinckney. I've charged her with this task. The task is large, it's burdensome, but it can change the trajectory of our entire community if she can get that number of 500 down to 200, to 100. Who knows, maybe one day we'll have perfect attendance on a day or two. She has a heart for this community. She has a heart for this work, and I'd like to give her a chance to share a little bit of what she's all about.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you all for being here. I just can't say enough about this wonderful, wonderful process that we've been going through for the last few months, and I want to thank my team. Thank all of you, of course, but thank my team for all of the hard work that they have done thus far just for us to really get a solid start to school. And we want to, of course, remind everybody that attendance, yes, school starts Wednesday, August 7th, but attendance starts Wednesday, August 7th. So we have to remind our parents, yes, it's great, we got to get them there August 7th. I also want to thank Dr. Eloy for the opportunity, for entrusting me with this task, and we're just very, very excited, and we want to work with all of you as much as we possibly can. We can't do this alone. No one can, so we need you. So please let us know that, please know that we are here and you can reach out to us at any point in time. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So what are we asking the community to do in support of what we already have in place, these systems we have in place? I want the community to be abuzz right now about truancy. If you have anyone in your network, whether it be family, friend, church member, neighbor, that has a school-age child, you need to tell them, I don't know what he's talking about, but he declared war on truancy, and he talked about the DA, and he talked about the law enforcement. We don't want to get to that point. We want to put the warnings out there, put the supports out there, because some people want their children to go to school, and sometimes it's more of a struggle than we understand. But we're going to go out and we're going to support them. But this needs to be spread out. You can see people, well, you can't see people in the audience if you're on Facebook, but we're all wearing these shirts, I Heart NPSB. And the entire district is going to be wearing these throughout the year. But it's because we don't just have, it's not just I love Natchitoches Parish Schools, it's we have a heart for this community. And so, be obnoxious. Tell your neighbor, hey, I saw your kid stayed home yesterday. And they'll probably say, well, they had the flu. And then you back off. But otherwise, keep pushing. We are going to be interacting with our pastors. And we want our pastors to maybe every Sunday, just a little announcement in the church bulletin. Remember, school's 5 days a week in Natchitoches. We don't want to go after families, but we will do whatever it takes to support our students when adults are not doing what they need to do. That concludes our program today. I would conclude it with saying our highest priority is student learning and our greatest responsibility is student safety. But I would like, I know members of the media are here, so if we can have a quick few minutes if there's any questions, and if not, we can conclude. It looks as if there's no questions, so I'm going to say we're going to have a great, amazing 24-25 school year, and if you see a student running the streets, call Miss Felicia Pinckney. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for being here. We really, really appreciate it. And hey, anytime you want to wear that shirt and support us, please do.